All right, I want to welcome everyone to the Chang Robotics Brand Call. It's great to see everybody and look forward to three great interviews today. We'll start first hearing from the founder, Matthew Chang, and so I want to turn over time to Matthew.
Right, super, Don. Well, we've got some really big updates. Number one, the first box there is the Chang Robotics Fund has been successfully launched. We've made it through our regulatory approvals, and we've recruited the companies into the fund that are part of our initial portfolio. We've built the team out that's going to run this fund. And so to put some words around it, this is a impact venture capital fund that is going to be supporting both with resources and money and expertise, companies that are trying to make the world a better place. We have a huge bias towards the workforce and a huge bias towards energy and making the planet a greener place and just a better place for our kids and grandkids. The next one is one that just kind of knocks my socks off is we got to have a lot of our leadership team in New York City 2 weeks ago, and Chang Robotics was named as one of Fast Company's best places for innovators. We certainly feel that way inside the business, but it's fantastic to have the external recognition and then to share the stage with really famous companies like Siemens and Walmart. And our neighbor on the list was Chipotle, which my family personally loves. And we're so excited to be included in that. And I think it's just a great recognition for our team, the hard work they put in, but the constant eye towards innovation that they have. Next, we have robots going live. So the robot studio is going to be launching this week in Jacksonville, Florida. It is located at Jacksonville University. The university was kind enough to grant us a very large space allocation in their newest part of campus. It's a health sciences building. So what better place to put high-end technology? We have a schedule with the students there, the engineering students and the computer science students are going to be getting to be hands-on with our robotics and playing with them. These are really high-end robots. They're autonomous mobile robots that are enabled with computer vision and all kinds of computing. There's advanced software systems. And then, of course, we have tooling attached to the robots so that they're usable by the workforce. So we're incredibly excited about that. The first demonstration is these autonomous mobile robots, and we're already getting requests in from robotic partners of what's coming next. So we can't wait to see what that is. I suspect it'll be something in the cobot space and the e-commerce fulfillment space, and possibly some even larger format autonomous robots. So we're very excited about that. Check it out on LinkedIn, and I'm sure we'll have some great content announcing the launch of that facility. And then next, we're always looking to expand talent. We give a call for talent on every single one of these brand calls, and we're so excited that a distinguished member of our community, Paul Boynton, has answered the call and joined us as a fractional executive. Paul Boynton was the CEO of a major corporation, Rainier Company, and also Rainier Advanced Materials. He had a distinguished career in materials science and chemistry and selling solutions into the industry around barrier coatings and high performance paper. He managed a lot of natural resources, including over 2 million acres of forestry. So we're so excited to have Paul join the firm. We think he adds just a tremendous amount of expertise, experience, and mental horsepower to us. So we look forward to his contribution. Next, we want to update you on WIN. Since we're on here talking about the types of companies we work with and we're involved with, we also want to show progress. One of our partnership companies and one of the firms entering the portfolio of the Chang Robotics Fund is REA Resource Recovery Systems. This company is trying to solve a major environmental problem, which is what to do with all of our waste oil and waste grease. This comes from restaurants and wastewater treatment plants, and it's a major environmental issue. Currently, most of this waste stream is burned off at an incinerator. So as we're trying to go green with the planet, we're talking about carbon emissions and we're talking about what sort of environmental impact we have. Burning off our waste doesn't sound very modern. However, there's been a barrier. There hasn't been the technology to solve this. So REA Resource Recovery Systems has answered that call. They have created the impact. and they have gone live with a B100 biodiesel production facility where the feedstock is 100% waste coming from the areas I mentioned. The major accomplishment is that the EPA has recently granted them a biodiesel sales certificate after extensive testing of the product, which means that the EPA agrees that this is commercially viable B100 and it's fit for purpose in both engines, home heating oil, and a variety of energy systems. So you can see here on the page what some of the statistics are. There's huge revenue potential and impact. This is a win-win-win for any municipality or wastewater system that is looking to upgrade. For any areas of the country that are environmentally sensitive, this is an immediate change that municipalities, cities, and states can make to really go green. And what better way to go green than by making revenue and making your own energy? And when we think about the long-term environmental and economic benefits, these are the type of impacts that we're looking for. New chemistry, new science, new processes that make the world cleaner and greener and more efficient.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. It's super exciting. I want to now talk a little bit about the interaction we hope to have on this call. Use the Q&A navigation above on the top bar to submit any questions, and we'll try to field as many questions as we can towards the end of the call. And so I look forward to getting questions, and hopefully our guests can field those questions along with myself, and look forward to having a real engaging discussion. I have the pleasure of introducing Kate McAfoose, and Kate is not only a professional engineer, but she's president of Chang Robotics and has been a leader in moving our company and our organization forward in some significant ways. She's led the implementation at a major top hospital, and she's been recognized as a Jacksonville Business Journal 40 Under 40 award winner, along with other recognitions, and she leads our multidisciplinary teams and engineering implementations all over the globe. And so, Kate, welcome to the Chang Robotics Brand Call.
Thanks, Don. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's such an amazing time right now in the organization. And so what I'd like to do first is ask about, we're already now in the third quarter. It's the beginning of October, and how will 2025 look different than 2024 did for Chang Robotics? And as president, what do you see the major challenge and opportunity?
Sure. Yeah, so 2024 has been a record year for us. You already heard from Matt on some of the different acknowledgments we've had and some of the different successes we've experienced. And so I think as we head into 2025, we're looking to double down on that and make the next year the most successful year for us. As far as challenges, really the biggest one that I see is probably one that faces most of our either current or potential clients, partners, really everybody. And that is about a month from now, we have an administration change coming up, and we don't know what that's going to look like. And so as we're planning for 2025 and beyond, a lot of what we do is dependent on either capital investments within large projects for clients, or comes from some kind of federal support in the form of, grants or maybe loan programs. And so as we're facing an administration change, there's always a little bit of unknown, right? Especially in that first quarter of the following year when that shift happens. So for me, I think that's the biggest one. And all we can do is continue to work towards it and work with our clients, and, whether it's interest rates or policy changes, we're going to have to adapt and be flexible. And we have built a team that's really good at doing that. So it is a challenge, but I think it's one we can overcome. And then as far as why do I think 2025 is going to be great for us? There's a couple reasons. Some of them you already heard from Matt as far as national and local recognition. For our leadership team, we've also implemented our scaled healthcare system for robotics. So we did implement that as a pilot, and now it's being scaled to all patient floors at that facility. We're going to hear more from some of the engineering professors at JU about Robot Studio and how that's impacting the campus, but also how that's really beneficial to Chang Robotics as a partnership, and what that kind of a relationship really does for both parties. We also work very diligently on growing a partner network. And so just as JU is a partner, we have a lot of partners in the industry who we exist in a very symbiotic relationship in that we try to benefit them in any way we can, and they do the same for us. And in the last year, we have almost doubled the partners that we have within our inventory. And so if you were to visit our website, you would see all kinds of logos in all different parts of the industry. And we rely on them heavily to help us as they do rely on us. And that's been great so far. We mentioned the Fast Company Award. That has brought a lot of recognition and brought potential clients and also potential thought leaders and team members out of the woodwork. So as we're gearing up for maybe the biggest year of the company's history, we also have access to some of the top talent in the industry, folks that are looking to join a team that's breaking down barriers and doing new things that haven't been done before. And so that's really given us a leg up in trying to recruit and make sure we have a team that can meet the needs of anybody that comes to us with a problem. And then as we talk about that and what some of the different exciting opportunities are for our team, there are a couple that I have in mind. One is we have been engaged for it's a confidential project, but if it moves forward next year as we're expecting, it would be a total transformation of the recycling industry, specifically around precious metals. So we're excited about that. We're engaged in a first-in-kind project as it relates to the movement of cargo from congested ports. So in the spirit of, in the last 48 hours and some of the strikes that have happened, it's not trying to aggravate that labor force and take those jobs away from those folks, but it's more, how do we reduce pollution and congestion around the port area? And so once containers have been unloaded, how do they get out of that area and into a more inland terminal quicker, and to reduce all that truck traffic and all those fumes that just cause pollution and congestion in those communities. So that's really exciting as that one moves forward. And then we have a few workforce improvement projects that are underway with various clients on introducing cobotics to the workforce so that we can take away some of those more repetitive or injury-causing jobs and allowing those folks to focus on more quality and the movement of the products away from the lines, and letting the cobot basically work with the workforce and improving those products. So all of those are in the works. We're very excited, and we're happy to be staffing up for a really exciting 2025.
Thanks, Kate. This is super exciting. And, Chang Robotics has already invested both engineering talent and in some cases even capital towards targeted portfolio companies such as Kodiak Tech and REA that we just discussed. And that engineering support and expertise is really a distinguishing factor in the curated list that's already together for these promising companies who are targeted to receive seed investments from Chang Robotics fund proceeds. How do you see the Chang Robotics fund helping your organization achieve its goals in 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, I personally believe and understand that the fund is going to really give me and the rest of the leadership team the runway we need to continue to be entrepreneurial while also operating an established and successful engineering firm. And what I mean by that is, you just heard me talk about a few really exciting projects that we have in the works for our engineering team. We also have another grouping of projects that are really more research and development focused and drive a lot of patent creation and opportunity for IP that can then be distributed and used across different industries. One example that I have in mind would be around optimizing meat processing plants and reducing the waste that's coming out of them, which basically is a community or, societal impact in that we're now reducing the amount of food waste that's we're attributing, right? And that food can then get put into our supply chain for folks to purchase and use in their home. So for me, it's all about how we allow runway for us to keep doing the jobs that we're trying to do to improve our clients' businesses, but then also keep developing new and exciting opportunities to establish, which then lead to, onshoring of supply chain and food safety and quality and everything that really impacts us in our community and just at home with our families.
As an impact fund, then, tell me, from at least your perspective, what do you, this fund is targeted as an impact fund, as Matt talked about, for not only a great return on investment, but really addressing some of these huge societal challenges that we have. Last week or a few weeks before, we heard from both Dr. Tim Way and Paul Boynton about Go Eco and graphene oxide. How does societal impact, and let's just call it community involvement, play into the mission and values of Chang Robotics?
It's foundational, is really the only word I can use to describe it. You've seen probably, if you're on our LinkedIn page or if you go to our website, you'll see plenty of content on us being a purpose-driven company, and that we exist to make sure our employees and anybody that we engage with understands that. You're not just coming to work to get a paycheck, you're coming to work to change the world. And we truly believe that we're doing that. And if you see our website, the first thing you'll see on the About Us is a statement of faith. And after that, the first of our core values is generosity. And so we exist to give is how we've coined it. And in doing so, that means we can really pour into our communities and understand what needs there are. You've heard from Tim Emlaw previously on this call. So when we're talking about food deserts and how we're trying to develop technologies or solutions that can solve that, Go Eco drives food safety for all consumers across any types of packaging. And then some of the projects that we've been talking about will drive, reduced emissions and reduce pollution. So we're focused on sustainability. We really feel that any project we engage in is for the better good of the community. And then outside of just the projects and the work we do have a focus on not just giving of our time, but giving of our resources, whether it's donating to charities that need it or volunteering, and then target portfolio companies to work with or invest in that have similar beliefs. And so the companies for the Chang Robotics Fund are benefiting from our engineering and our strategy consulting as they're trying to bring improvements to their community. And I think later in the call, you'll hear a little bit more about that from Forrest Hayes.
Great. Well, thank you, Kate. And we look forward to potentially fielding some questions towards the end of the call, but we really appreciate you joining the Chang Robotics Brand Call today, and look forward to more discussion. So let's go ahead and move to So I want to introduce two distinguished faculty members from Jacksonville University, and it's near and dear to my heart as a 7.5-year dean of the Davis College of Business and former Jacksonville University aficionado. It's great to have two of what would be my colleagues in the past. And so you see Dr. Emre Selvi, who is the director of the School of Engineering and Technology at Jacksonville University, and also Dr. Minnie Zhang. And so she's the director of the Cybersecurity Center at Jacksonville University, and you'll see some of the outstanding and noteworthy accomplishments that they've had over their career at both JU and in other institutions and other places. And We're so pleased to have both of you join us today on the Chang Robotics Brand Call. And we want to welcome both of you. Welcome to the Brand Call, and we look forward to talking with you now.
Thank you, Don. It's great to be here and collaborating with Chang Robotics.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to this.
Sorry about that. I had a technical glitch happen. Let's go ahead and start with, I'll just let either of you field this first question, because both of you, as representatives of Jacksonville University, you folks are involved with the community. You appear to, in every way, to be involved with local industry and further development of technology. So tell us a little bit how this robot studio, what it'll mean for JU and his students, and potentially your individual programs.
Thank you, Don. I think the robot studio at Jacksonville University aligns perfectly with JU's mission of providing innovative hand-on learning experiences in our school. Through the studio, the students will be introduced to the advanced robotics technology and offering them a direct look of how these systems are applied in industries such as healthcare, logistics, and manufacturing. And this exposure, I think, helps students understand the real-world applications of robotics and provide context for their classroom learning. Also, Robot Studio offers students opportunities to meet and interact with industry experts like the engineers from your company or people from hospitals or other industries. And it allows them to gain valuable insights into industry expectations and the latest technological trends. And I think by these engagements, students enhance their understanding of industry challenges and better prepare for their future jobs, significantly boosting their career readiness.
Thank you, Emery. I'll piggyback Emery's point. Yes, this will means a lot to our student and also even our faculty as well. Our student will have this opportunity to expose to the hands-on project, and because it's quite aligned with what we emphasized in JU, where like small-sized classroom, our faculties work with our student closely on this project, and we highly emphasized on the hands-on experience to our student. That's a special part of JU. And I've seen that with the robotic studio, our students could be able to expose to the high-tech technology, and the student won't feel like I'm walking in the desert with all these math and physics courses. And they know that with the learning of these math and physics courses, engineering courses, programming courses, that is their future. That is what they could be able to produce in the future. So the students are very excited about it. And meanwhile, it encourages students in the critical thinking, in the creativity, and also collaboration skills, because they will be able to see that for a fantastic project like the Chang Robotics product, it's not just a one person's job. It's not just one person's task to be able to complete a project like that. It's involved the media art, it involves the engineers, the computer scientists, and the business and the psychologists. They work together as a team to build a product like this. It means a lot to our student. I'm excited.
Well, you just led into the next question, because you talked about all the different parts of faculty at JU who could potentially play a part in these kinds of integration with companies and problems or challenges that industry have that students can work on there at Jacksonville University. So what other academic units are likely to be involved outside of the organizations and faculty groups both of you lead?
I believe there is a lot. From the vision that I see, I would say, of course, with the engineering, the computer science, the computer scientists that would be happy to be involved into the research and the project. because like the computer scientist could be able to help with the artificial intelligence algorithms, machine learning algorithms, the software development, the application development, the computer vision development, etc. And it also will give our students an opportunity to also expose to this kind of opportunities. And I would also see the business, well, the business faculty and student could be involved into the project like this, because they will be able to learn how to commercially marketing and manage this kind of project, the project management, the marketing, and the financial piece of a product like this. I could also see there are some potential that the media art psychologist, the human factor, because the user interface, the user experience is also a critical part of a robotics design as well. Of course, the how that as Kate is interested as the health science, we will see that we could collaborate closely with the health science department to see how, based on their experience, how the robotics could help them with their daily medical tasks.
Very good. So that again leads me to Chang Robotics now is closely involved with Jacksonville University, and our founder serves on I think a couple of different boards there. So how would you suggest companies like Chang Robotics get involved with JU, and how can we utilize or tap into these students that are emerging as future engineers, future computer scientists, future business leaders of business-to-business companies like Chang Robotics?
Um, uh, yeah, I think companies like Chang Robotics can engage in several impactful ways. And talking specifically about engineering, JU Engineering has a very unique design-based program where students work on semester or year-long design projects every semester. And our third year robot design project is a perfect opportunity for such industry collaboration. In that third year junior project, electrical and mechanical engineering students work together in a same team to build an autonomous robot for IEEE, Electrical Engineering Society, robot design competition for college levels. And it allows companies to sponsor that project as well as provide mentorships as our students delve into robotics technology. And similarly, our senior design projects offer another chance for companies to partner with students, guiding them through more complex year-long challenges. Last 3 years, all of our senior design projects are externally sponsored. We have external customers, and our students work on real-life projects that they provide. And we look forward for such opportunities, which is a win-win situation for both company, JU, and our students. And internships also provides hands-on experience in real-world industry, giving them how they apply their skills by applying them in a workspace. And by sponsoring our projects or offering internships to our students, Chang Robotics or such companies can help shaping future engineers and connecting education with industry needs and expectations. And Mina, I think you can talk about more broader than engineering engagement opportunities.
Sure, my pleasure. I agree with you. Internships is definitely something that we're looking for. And for the computer science and both the computer science and engineering, our curriculum designed, we have a fresh new curriculum designed about 2 years ago. And our curriculum emphasized on the project base. We have a project-based spine. And starting from the freshman year, we expose our students into real-life project. And our student and our faculties are hungry about all these projects coming from industry like Chang Robotics. So I like Emery just mentioned, the engineering have the freshman design, sophomore design, junior design, and senior design. And the senior design project definitely gonna need to be some project from industry. For our computer science, we have the project-based spine as well, but we have different interests. So we could be able to put a component that from this kind of project, if it is a software component, or if it is artificial intelligence component, or if it's like a combo, then we could be able to integrate it into a capstone. We have a capstone course like all these computer science and the cybersecurity students needs to complete. So of course, that is something we can looking for. We also do hackathon in our department and the college level. In the college level, what we call it is called a GU Dolphin Pitch. The students are open to all these kind of ideas, and they work in a interdisciplinary team with media art, with engineers, with the computer science to come up with an idea and come up with a prototype, and then they present in that kind of idea. What else would be the sponsored research project that like Emery just mentioned? Our students could work as an independent study to a sponsored research project, and the students could get a credit from this kind of project and experience. So I see a lot of potential there.
Wow, that's it's so practical and so hands-on now. And I'm really impressed with the direction that you're taking your programs in the college and the university forward. And you probably know that Chang Robotics not only sponsored the Jacksonville Venture Competition, which is the preeminent, I call it startup environment in Jacksonville, but and back that. But also is now involved in all kinds of community endeavors, helping local entrepreneurs, some in your spaces and some outside of your space. So how do you think this could help other companies and organizations be a model for involvement, both with JU and the community? And what advice would you give would-be partners of Jacksonville University?
As you mentioned, I think Chang Robotics stands out as a model for corporate partners. As you mentioned, your involvement in our advisory boards. As guest speakers, we had you several times, and also offering Robot Studio for our campus. They all strengthens the collaboration and enriches the student experience. And through your projects, like especially Robot Studio, students see firsthand how engineers work together to create solutions that impact society, and how students from other fields can collaborate with our engineering or computing science students to contribute those students. And for example, like as Kate mentioned previously, the robotics solution in healthcare with that Robot Studio can significantly reduce the nurse workload and filling workspace gaps and involving hospital efficiency. And it not just saves money, but provides better care. And this demonstrates to our students how engineering goes beyond technical problem solving to improve the lives on larger scale. And I believe such partnerships and helping community in the way that you do provides our students with invaluable opportunities to connect their academic learning to real-world applications and make a lasting impact on their education and career readiness, and be more excited and motivated about their future and their professions.
That's great. Minnie, do you have any final words? I really appreciate both of you being on the Chang Robotics call today, but I want to leave the final word to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I would say I really appreciate this opportunity. And I would, regarding about the last question you have for our future partners, I would say the communication is the key. Like what we have right now, like with this communications, these connections with each other, and we're all on the same page. And also we also want to emphasize the innovation. We have the students students, they have their these brains, these ideas like coming from them. I have some students bringing these ideas. I attended the last the dolphin pitch. They had these phenomenal ideas that I've never thought about it. And for this kind of partnership, I would say we wanted to support students with their ideas being innovative, keep our communications and connections.
Well, thank you. And thank both of, I want to thank again both of you and Jacksonville University for such an engaging discussion today. And we look forward to hearing more about the Robots Studio and its impact on students in a future follow-up. So thank you for being part of our call today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So at this point, we want to move to our final interviewee, and I'm pleased to introduce Forrest Hayes. Forrest, I've known for several months now. He's the fund director of the Chang Robotics Fund, somebody that I work with closely in my role as an administrator. And he has 25 plus years of experience in what we call Wall Street, but doing this worldwide in banking and asset management. He's the former managing director of financial institutions at Standard Chartered Bank. And Forrest earned an MBA from the Anderson School at UCLA and National University Singapore, and holds several financial licenses and Series 24, 63, and 79 licenses. So welcome to the Chang Robotics call, Forrest.
Thank you, Don. Pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you here. And I thought maybe we could run through a few of the, you've been working super hard in the last few months to,
Yes, sir.
along with your teammates, to get things prepared to go live with the Chang Robotics Fund. So I'd like you maybe first to talk a little bit about the team that we've assembled, and from your perspective and expertise, how are we doing? And tell us a little bit about your teammates.
Sure, Don. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. First of all, we've got our visionary leader in Matthew Chang. I think everybody knows him quite well. And of course, your good self, dean and professor with great experience. And not only that, but in investing and creating companies and exiting those companies. And that's critical. And having that experience is going to be part of the key to this great team. Besides that, we've got myself, which I'll talk about in a second. We've also got Robert Sterling, excuse me. He's our CFO. And of course, Phil Hudgens, who is our fund controller. Phil and I worked in Singapore together at Standard Chartered Bank, and he is a credit risk and financial expert who has helped me sign up on billions of dollars of credit to financial institutions around the globe. So he's somebody that I know and deeply trust, and he's helped us put together the financial pro forma for this great fund. And as for that, myself, I've been working on funds for 26 years now, and I first got my start at a company called Bice's Fund Services, which is now part of Citibank. They bought us back in the day. And I worked for Janus Capital Group and also built out the investor program at Standard Chartered. I've lived and worked in Ireland, Hong Kong, and Singapore, and I've done business with multiple governments around the world, including the government incorporated GIC, which is the sovereign wealth fund or investment arm of the Singapore government, and of course NSSF, which is part of the China National Social Security Fund, amongst others. So we've got a great team. We've built this specifically for the Chang Robotics Fund, and we're excited to bring this to market. It's going to be a great fund.
That's great. Well, let's talk a little bit about the investment thesis and what summarize for us kind of the backdrop of why this fund today, 2024, and tell us a little bit about what has been brewing in the last few years that makes this impact funds so important and so timely.
Well, as we all know, we're all under tremendous pressure to change the way that we live, the way that we consume, the energy efficiency. There's so many opportunities here that we can make a profound impact just in simple decisions in how we live in our daily lives. And what we're doing with this great engineering team and this fund is basically addressing a lot of those core fundamental global issues. And as we look at the manufacturing and energy landscapes, we're undergoing a tremendous seismic shift, what's being driven by an intensifying global competitive landscape. And we all know that there's a persistent labor shortage on top of that. And so what the Chang Fund brings to the team and to our potential investments is a group of professionals that can help them not only scale, but make their businesses profitable. And basically, we're in a new era. And what we're going to do in this new era is bring intelligent automation and energy efficiency to the market. And with this excellent experienced team, I feel like we can take these innovative startups that have developed new technologies and address these core fundamental challenges.
So Forrest, what then is the solution that makes sense, and how is the Chang Robotics Fund the unlock for some of these issues that you've talked about?
Well, the solution is fairly straightforward and simple. It's expertise, it's experience, it's the know-how, and it's the core engineering skill set and the vision that we bring to these companies in order to help them scale and become profitable. At the end of the day, it's wonderful that these ideas and this IP is out there, but how do we then create a bigger market for them? How do we solve the daily issues that we all face? And we've got proprietary deal flow that we've identified that we can help address core issues we've heard about today, even from our friends at Jacksonville University.
Thanks for that. I mean, really, this is very different. A lot of what I experienced early, you referenced an exit and several experiences that I had prior to my academic career. And when we were being counseled by then Credit Suisse, a company kind of like Goldman Sachs that helped package companies to go public, the investment thesis and then the actual solutions and the portfolio companies that were created around funds like this one were basically done in a Monte Carlo style, where they just found the best teams and the best business cases, and they just hoped, 1 out of 20 or 2 out of 20 would succeed. How is this different? And maybe talk about how the Chang Robotics engineering teams already working with most of these targeted portfolio companies understand their engineering and where they're going, their executive team. How is this different than other funds that curate after they've raised the money?
Well, and your question is actually the answer, and that is we know these companies intimately. We've done our due diligence, we've identified opportunities, and we've got the skill set that we can bring to them that will help them scale. As a fund, the whole point is to bring capital to a situation that will provide a solution and ultimately generate profits on behalf of our shareholders. And we're good at that. And that's why we've built this amazing team with decades of experience to help solve these issues. And if you look at the Chang Robotics track record and their engineering services and what direct investments they've already made, I mean, you're talking about billions of dollars of capital that have already flowed in and through the different companies that we've worked with. And we're helping them solve and basically deal with all of their core fundamental issues. And we've got this team of people with over 40 plus engineers and a visionary leader in Matthew and your good self, where we're going to bring to market something that hasn't existed. And the best part about this, Don, is the fact that it's proprietary deal flow. And we've got experience in not only delivering the core engineering services, but it's also the ability to generate profit and then the ability to exit. Because that's part of the fund strategy. Over a 5-year period, we need to be able to invest, we need to be able to deliver, we need to be able to execute, and most importantly, make a profit and deliver a genuine IRR for our shareholders. So that's where we're at. Very exciting times ahead. And let's keep going.
Well, this is super exciting. And The slide here has an example of Kate, who was president of Chang Robotics, was very involved in the success of Pulse, as Matthew was, and Ross Bernard, another partner. And they've had success making this happen on a big scale. And so it's super exciting as we focus on these portfolio companies and taking and helping them develop the intellectual property and let's call it the go-to-market strategies to commercialize this stuff that's literally going to change the world, and at the same time be, as you said, great investment return opportunity. So let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
So here, maybe talk to us a little bit. You've already talked about the proprietary deal flow that these curated companies already in place. Maybe talk about some of the other pluses for individuals. I see people who are interested in impact funds, and they both want to make a great investment, but they also want to make a difference in the world. And we've had some misfires and some ups and downs in that area, but I think this fund gets it right, don't you think? And why?
Oh, absolutely. And we all learn from our decision making and our mistakes. The best lessons learned are from our past failures. And not only have we worked through all of that, but now we've, again, identified amazing proprietary deal flow that's not necessarily out there for the public markets. We're competing against the Goldman Sachs of the world. But the best part is we know them intimately. We know the CEOs, we know the executive team. We're part of that. We're going to be part of that. We have a voting seat. We've got active governance, and we continually manage these businesses. We're involved with decision making. We're helping them become more profitable, scaling to effect, and again, addressing the pressures that we all face when it comes to dealing with all of the challenges in our marketplace. And if you look across the various deals that we do have, which we can get into later, and we have a series of brand calls that go into each of them in depthly, we're addressing a variety of challenges. It's not just about batteries or food or hospitals, for example. It's across the board. And with that, we've got this optionality that it is unique to this fund in such a sense where Matthew has been working with such great companies across his timeline. And I feel like we're perfectly positioned to take advantage of the current innovation and the future IP that will address and change the world that we live in. It's again, it's very exciting times.
Yeah, we're hearing today that OpenAI finished their round at even a much higher valuation than anyone would have predicted. And you're hearing about, where the money is flowing. And when the reality is that at Chang Robotics, they've been using AI to enhance factory autonomous systems, and in the healthcare area and in packaging and other areas already for several years. And so they have a big head start. And this is a way to tap into, I'll call it an advanced manufacturing, but with an AI twist. And these portfolio companies, as you say, are not chosen just as the best of breed, but they actually have integrated engineering services from Chang Robotics. So I want to kind of finish by saying, what would you say to would-be investors or folks who might be interested in an investment in the Chang Robotics Fund?
Well, now's the time. I mean, do you want to be part of the future world that we're living in? There's a tremendous opportunity. We've identified proprietary deal flow. We're addressing core market issues across the board. It's something that we're very focused on. We've identified very specific deals that will return very good profits for our shareholders. And I guess, Don, ultimately, when you look at what we've been doing with AI and with automation and with robotics, it's a combination of things. And AI has been a bit overblown and overplayed. And I hear you about the valuation. I get it. And everybody's excited about it. But if you don't know how to use it, well, then what do you do with it? It's like anything else. It's a tool. And we've been using that tool for a very long time. AI has been around for a very long time. It's not like it just happened yesterday, even though a lot of people feel like it. So, let's be honest. If you're not having this part of your solution, then you're too late. You've missed it. You've missed the point. And for our shareholders, they need to understand that not only have we incorporated it, but we've been using it. We understand it. It's part of our solution. It's one piece of our core engineering services. And again, with this experienced team that has delivered across the board for major Fortune 500 companies across the globe, this is just the next step in the history and the legacy of Chang Robotics. And I hope that our shareholders will give us their investments and the confidence that we will return for them. And I know we can do it. So with that, Don, it's a pleasure. And I look forward to raising the $50 million that we're looking to raise with our shareholders and investors.
Well, thank you, Forrest. It's been great to have you as on the Chang Robotics call. And now I'm going to turn over to Cheyenne. And Cheyenne is going to update us on Chang Robotics and the news.
Absolutely. So here's some recent features that we've had in the media lately. As Matt mentioned earlier, Chang Robotics was announced by Fast Company as one of the best workplaces for innovators. We're honored to be on the list alongside renowned companies like Walmart, American Express, Lenovo, and many more. And we are also the only honoree based in Florida. So we're super proud to represent the Sunshine State. You can read more about that and all of these on our thought leadership page of our website, changrobotics.ai. Next up, we've published a press release announcing Go Eco, and we've mentioned it a few times in this call and in previous calls, but it is a product that uses graphene oxide to replace harmful PFAS in food packaging. It's compostable, oil resistant, high strength, and more. Check it out for more info. We have some very exciting developments there. Kate McAfoos, our president, who you heard from earlier on the call, wrote an awesome article on how to live out the idea of having a profitable but also purpose-driven business. It's a great read. She alluded to it previously. Next up, Powering the Future. This is an event we coordinated early last month. It was a conference in Jacksonville focused on electric vehicles and manufacturing in Jacksonville and beyond. And it was just an awesome opportunity for us to bring the community together and get people excited for what's going on and what's to come in their city. And lastly, check out this press release that goes into more detail on Kodiak Tech's new CEO, Mark Manning. Mark has over 20 years of experience, and we're very excited to have him on board. That's it for me. I'll pass it to Matthew Chang to close us out.
All right. This is our call to action and compliments to our speakers today. Just fantastic content. And that's why every day I'm excited to get up and go to work, is because I work with these amazing people and this top talent, especially curating the future of our country and the students that are going to enter the workforce and make this happen. There's three ways to get involved: time, talent, and treasure. In terms of time, we would love, if you have a passion for anything you hear about on this brand call, for you to spend some time with us. You've seen that some top industry talent has joined us and are spending to choose their working time with us in affecting this world change that we're after. In terms of talent, no doubt some of you have connections and contacts that are valuable to what we're trying to accomplish and can quite frankly help us go faster. So please pour into us. We would love it. And we try to foster a collaborative environment where everybody can contribute, no matter if you're a stakeholder, a partner, or a client, or just a person that's looking to help. We welcome that. And most importantly, following up on Forrest's treasure, now that we are actively in a fundraise, we have been able to bring to market a vehicle where people can participate alongside of us and go for the journey with us. So if you want a true front row seat to what we're doing, then please consider the Chang Robotics Fund for your investment. and join us in this exciting future that Forrest talked about. Major milestone and compliments to Forrest Hayes and Don Capener and the rest of the team that made this happen. The Chang Robotics Fund is live. You can see our checklist there. We've been busy. And for those of you that know me on a personal level, you know I don't necessarily love paperwork, but we have accomplished a lot of paperwork to make this happen. And we have been through the SEC and the legal registrations to officially open our fund. It has been a learning experience for some of us. I think for Forrest and Phil and Robert, it was old hat. But for a few of us, this was the first time going through the process. High compliments. The team made it as easy as possible. And I'm also impressed. One of my favorite things about working is right the first time. I cannot stand rework. And we were able to pull off this fund right the first time with a flawless execution on registration of the fund. We are live now, and we're looking to get that final box checked off. And we have the right team to do it. And I think the investor community in America is really positioned for something like this product. So we're very excited about who's going with us for the journey, and I can't wait to meet our future shareholders. Thanks so much.
Thanks everyone for today, and thank you to all our guest speakers. We look forward to seeing you approximately a month from today on the next Chang Robotics Brand Call. We didn't have time for the questions. We had several, but we will respond back to you and look forward to future interaction on future calls. Thanks, everyone, and look forward to seeing you next month.